Welcome to World Alert Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The South China Sea shimmers under a relentless sun, its vast expanse glinting like a sheet of glass. But beneath the surface beauty, a storm of tension brews, invisible yet palpable to all who sail these contested waters. The heat is oppressive, but it's the tension that truly weighs on the crew. Every face on deck is etched with anxiety, their eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of trouble. The BRP Teresa Magbanua, a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, is on a critical mission to resupply the isolated outpost at Ayungin Shoal, a lifeline for those stationed far from home. Suddenly, a massive Chinese Coast Guard ship emerges on the horizon, its imposing hull cutting through the waves as it moves to block their path, asserting its presence with unmistakable intent. The radio crackles with stern warnings. This is a direct challenge, a test of resolve and nerves. The Chinese ship looms ever closer, water cannons mounted and ready, a silent threat hanging in the salty air. The Filipino captain grips the controls, his knuckles white, refusing to yield an inch. His determination is mirrored by his crew, who look to him for strength. The world is watching, every tense moment captured by journalists and cameras, their lenses trained on the unfolding drama. The Chinese vessel blasts its horn, a thunderous show of force that echoes across the water, demanding attention and compliance. The Philippine crew stands firm, outnumbered but resolute, their unity a silent statement of defiance. This is their water, their home, and they won't back down, no matter the odds stacked against them. A young sailor films the encounter, footage that will soon go viral, spreading the story far beyond these waves. The Chinese ship swerves dangerously, nearly causing a collision, the tension reaching a breaking point as metal threatens to meet metal. In a split second, the captain makes a crucial decision. He slows, holds position, and broadcasts peaceful intentions, choosing diplomacy over escalation. The standoff ends not with violence, but with a strategic retreat and a global broadcast, the world now witness to the high-stakes encounter. The Philippine ship turns back, but the story spreads worldwide, igniting debates and drawing international attention to the region. News agencies air the dramatic footage, diplomats and leaders react, their statements shaping the next moves on the global chessboard. The world sees a smaller nation standing its ground with courage and a camera, a symbol of resistance in the face of overwhelming power. This event captures the Philippines' strategy, fighting for sovereignty with bravery, transparency, and the power of global witness. The footage becomes undeniable proof of the daily pressure and intimidation faced by the Philippines, a reality now impossible to ignore. The message is clear: the fight isn't just about territory, but about principle, dignity, and the right to stand one's ground. The standoff is over, but the struggle continues, echoing in the hearts of those who witnessed it. The Philippines has shown the world its resolve, earning respect and support from allies and observers alike. The battle is waged not with bullets but with the unblinking eye of a lens, ensuring the truth is seen and remembered by all. The South China Sea is the Philippines' lifeline, feeding millions, sustaining coastal communities, and shaping the rhythm of daily life along its shores. Its waters are woven into the fabric of the nation, providing not just food, but hope and opportunity for generations. Every morning, fishermen set out at dawn, braving the open sea and unpredictable weather, relying on the ocean's bounty for their family's survival. Their journeys are a testament to resilience and the enduring bond between people and the sea. For the Philippines, these waters are more than just a resource. They are tradition, livelihood, and a living symbol of national identity, passed down from parent to child. For China, the sea is a gateway to power, a vital trade route, a strategic asset, and a corridor for economic expansion and military presence. Control over these waters means economic security, access to global markets, and the ability to shape international influence. Beneath the waves lie vast oil and gas reserves, offering the promise of energy independence for the Philippines and fueling China's industrial ambitions and growing energy needs. Both nations look to the same sea but imagine different futures, heritage and survival for one, hegemony and dominance for the other. The conflict is about more than resources. It's a struggle for sovereignty, dignity, and national pride, echoing in every protest and standoff. International law grants the Philippines rights within its exclusive economic zone, affirming its claim to these vital waters and the resources within. This is about the right to fish in one's own backyard, to explore and benefit from one's own resources, and to protect a way of life. Losing these waters would mean losing a part of the nation's soul, erasing stories, traditions, and dreams tied to the sea. For Filipinos, it's a fight for identity as an island people, for the right to celebrate their heritage and secure their children's future. The sea is not just water, it's the heart of the nation, teeming with life, beauty, and possibility. The stakes are existential, not just economic. The loss would ripple through every home, every community, and every generation. The world's attention is drawn to this vital, contested expanse where the fate of millions and the balance of power are at stake. The struggle for the sea is a struggle for the future, a battle over who will write the next chapter in this storied region. China's expansion in the South China Sea was methodical and relentless. Artificial islands rose from reefs, transformed by dredging into military outposts. Runways, radars, and missile sites followed, unsinkable bases projecting power far from China's shores. The message, this sea belongs to China. The world expected the Philippines to yield. China's salami slicing strategy, small, incremental moves, avoided triggering a major conflict. Each step seemed minor, but together they shifted the balance of power. The Philippines appeared trapped, outmatched by a superpower. Pundits predicted Manila would have to accept China's dominance. The power gap seemed insurmountable. How could a small nation resist the world's largest navy? The expectation the Philippines would surrender its claims. But the Philippines refused to give in. The dragon's shadow grew, but the story was far from over. The world underestimated the resolve of a nation fighting for its rights. Facing overwhelming force, the Philippines chose a different battlefield. The law. Instead of warships, it assembled a team of top international lawyers. Their weapon, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. The Philippines argued China's actions inside its EEZ were illegal under this treaty. It was a bold David versus Goliath move. China refused to participate, pressuring Manila to drop the case. But the Philippines stood firm, defending a world order where rules matter. The legal team presented evidence of Chinese interference and environmental destruction. The case wasn't about who owned islands, but about rights in the water. The Philippines challenged China's sweeping 9-line claim. The world watched as the battle shifted from the sea to the courtroom. The stakes, not just territory, but the principle that might does not make right. The Philippines put its faith in law, not force. On July 12, 2016, the world's attention turned to The Hague as the Permanent Court of Arbitration delivered its long-awaited verdict on the South China Sea dispute. The Philippines emerged with a near-total victory, sparking celebrations across the country and among its diplomats. The tribunal declared that China's expansive 9-line had no legal basis whatsoever under international law. China's sweeping maritime claims were found to be invalid, setting a precedent for international maritime disputes. The court also condemned China's construction of artificial islands and the severe environmental damage caused to coral reefs and marine life. Filipino fishermen's rights to traditional fishing grounds were affirmed, restoring hope and livelihoods to coastal communities. The ruling became a powerful legal and moral weapon for the Philippines in its ongoing struggle for sovereignty. China, however, immediately rejected the decision, dismissing it as nothing more than waste paper and refusing to recognize its authority. Yet the ruling dramatically changed the diplomatic landscape, drawing global attention and support for the Philippines' position. The dispute was now elevated to a matter of international law, no longer just a regional political issue. China's refusal to comply was seen worldwide as defiance of a binding international judgment, raising concerns about the rule of law. The victory clarified the rules of the sea and gave the Philippines the moral high ground in future negotiations. Manila could now point to the ruling whenever its rights were challenged, strengthening its diplomatic hand. The world began to see the conflict as a crucial defense of a rules-based international order, not just a local dispute. The pen, representing international law, proved mightier than the sword in this historic case. The Philippines' legal triumph inspired other small nations to stand up for their rights, showing that even the smallest voices can be heard. The fight for the South China Sea had become a global fight for the rule of law, setting an example for future generations. Legal victory alone isn't enough. The Philippines needs allies. The U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty is key. The U.S. now makes clear attacks on Philippine vessels in the South China Sea trigger the treaty. This security guarantee deters China, raising the stakes. Joint military exercises Balikatan demonstrate unity and readiness. The alliance is more than words, it's a living partnership. The Philippines also builds ties with Japan, Australia, and others. International patrols challenge China's claims and reinforce freedom of navigation. ASEAN neighbors like Vietnam and Malaysia coordinate with Manila. Together they push for a binding code of conduct. This web of alliances insulates the Philippines from pressure. The strategy strength in numbers, unity and purpose. The Philippines turns partnerships into a shield. The world stands with Manila in defense of the rules. The Philippines' geography is its hidden strength. Over 7,600 islands form a natural barrier in the South China Sea. Countless channels and straits give the Philippine Navy a home field advantage. The military upgrades key islands like Palawan, building ports, airfields, and radar stations. This network allows rapid response and real-time monitoring of Chinese movements. The archipelago becomes a sprawling, unsinkable fortress. Proximity to disputed features strengthens the Philippines' legal and moral claims. Scarborough Shoal, just 124 nautical miles from Luzon, is a case in point. The world sees the logic features near the Philippines belong to the Philippines. Geography grounds the legal argument in reality. The map itself tells a compelling story. The islands are both shield and symbol. The Philippines' landscape is its first line of defense. The real front line isn't just warships, it's Filipino fishermen. Every day they sail into contested waters, risking harassment and danger. Their persistence is an act of defiance and a symbol of national rights. Chinese Coast Guard ships cut nets, ram boats, and use water cannons. Yet the fishermen return, embodying the nation's resolve. The government now escorts and supports them, turning fishing into a patriotic mission. Their stories humanize the conflict, rallying domestic and international support. The world sees not just a dispute, but fathers feeding families. These daily heroes are the Philippines' quiet, powerful weapon. Their courage unites the nation and inspires the world. The fight for the sea is lived out in every cast net and every return home. The Philippines' strategy is a lesson in smart resistance. Strength comes from courage, law, and unity, not just military might. The nation weaves law, alliances, and transparency into a new kind of defense. Modernizing its military, the Philippines signals it will defend its sovereignty. International support reframes the conflict as a global issue, not just a local one. Every alliance, every legal victory adds to the nation's shield. The Philippines proves victory is about patience, resilience, and belief in the rule of law. The struggle is long, but the nation stands tall. The world learns, you can stand up to a giant without firing a shot. True victory is won through wisdom, unity, and the enduring power of what is right.